So hi, it's John here again, and I'm here in Iceland with GJ Travel and TourRadar. I am super excited about this one. I've wanted to come to Iceland for so long, and I'm finally here, and it feels amazing. So we just left Reykjavik this morning, and we're making our way across the western part of Iceland and up through. I was going to try and attempt to pronounce some of the names, but yeah, they're even ridiculous, and I can't even begin to start reading them or pronouncing them. Yes, we're just walking up this little route now up to a volcanic crater at the top. So there are around 180 volcanic craters in Iceland that are all active, but only 18 of them have erupted in recent history. Now thankfully this particular one hadn't shown any recent signs of seismic or volcanic activity as we walked right up and around the edge of the crater and into the middle of the moss-covered lava field. Now, the moss itself takes around 70 years to grow only a few inches and creates that awesome, smooth, rolling landscape look that's famous in Iceland. This is very cool. One of 6 grass churches left here in Iceland. What's really interesting about it is that it has no foundations, and the fact that the internal structure is all held off the grass roof. Dates back to the 1800s. It's roughly a 3-hour drive from Reykjavik and is a must-see feature of the western fjords. It's very homely inside, comprising of mainly exposed timber and fine artistic details. So I've just checked into my hotel. I've got some free time this evening, so I'm going to walk into the town centre. I'm walking through the botanical gardens at the moment. Apparently they've got every single type of plant that Iceland has all here in this botanical gardens, plus an extra 1,000 or something like that, which is just crazy. Akureyri town was the next biggest town outside of Reykjavik that we visited on the Western Fjords. Visiting the spectacular church in the city centre or enjoying the outside geothermal pools and spa directly next to our hotel. So I heard rumours that the food in Iceland was amazing. In between eating one of the best burgers I've ever had in my life and visiting the scheduled destinations on the itinerary, we had the chance to shout out to the tour guide and stop the truck at any given point we wanted for some epic photo opportunities. We chose to stop at a few smaller waterfalls and lava fields along the way that looked ridiculously dramatic in the misty, snowy weather. Right, we're at some thermal spas at the moment. It looks very cold outside. There you can see the person.
Good morning, good sir.
Good morning, I'm not sure I'm ready. What's this for?
Hot chocolate. Would you like
Oh,
one?
yes please.
Welcome to the ice group. That's what I'm calling us out there.
Thank you.
Would you like hot chocolate?
Yeah, please.
There you go.
Oh, that's amazing.
Would you like hot chocolate?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll bring it to you when you're okay.
That's let's open the door.
Can you bring a towel also?
To draw the short straw.
Try and go in this one.
Right back.
It's not cold, but it's not warm.
After the
Although the thermal pools didn't quite live up to their name with regards to temperature, I must point out that this is an extremely rare occasion as Iceland has recently had record temperature lows and snowfall for that particular time of the year and was 8 degrees below its usual temperature. Now let me show you what I bought earlier from the thermal baths. This is not a brick. It's not a brick. It is a loaf of rye bread. Now this is a traditional Viking snack. They used to have it with meals, and then it's cooked in the geothermal spas, like the heat from the geothermal spas. So, over on the road, really sweet, really good. Right, we're just rolling out at the moment. We're going to a place called, what is it called again? Eyjafjallajökull? Eyjafjallajökull. Our tour guide Jonas was a fountain of knowledge, and he helped me out on the pronunciation of place names at least 10 times a day. In each location he'd give us some info and let us explore for a while on our own, which was a really great way of guiding. Here he took us to Thingvellir, which is an ancient lava field, and told us that they used to believe that the lava stack you see here used to be trolls that partied a little too late into the morning and turned into stone in the sun. Now I think you've got to use your imagination a little, but you can certainly see how these tales originated when you walk around. It was otherworldly. Hadlaflot. Double L means a D. This fissure was one of just many in Iceland. At the bottom was hot water that until recently was swimmable. This all changed due to seismic activity that increased the water temperature by around 40 degrees. So I'm at the bottom of the cave now. I hope you can see this. Spin it around. Oh yes. Oh, that is hot. There on pools, steam vents and bubbling mud craters was a scene like no other. It was a hive of geothermal activity with a strong smell of sulphur and crazy colours. All the walkways led you right up to the edges of the pools so you could get up close and personal to these amazing spectacles. This is by far the most ridiculous word I've seen so far. What does that even say? Godafoss was located in the national park that, for my own sake, I'm not even going to try and pronounce again. Right, I'm going to start my vlog a bit crouched around here because it's so windy as I get over there, but I just gotta cross my fingers. It's a very, very clear sky at the moment, so I hope it stays this way. We've got the sky that we need. We just need the that magnetic activity. I'm gonna walk up now and show you the views. There's I wasn't lucky with the Northern Lights that night. Yona said it may have been something to do with the light pollution from the surrounding town, but never mind, there's plenty more days. So the next day we set off through the insanely beautiful landscapes of Iceland, through the sun and snow, and finally arrived here at the River of Waterfalls. So from glorious sunshine this morning to snow again in about 20 minutes. We're travelling around the western fjords at the moment, and it just goes to show how unpredictable the weather is here in Iceland. But yes, as I said, we're travelling around the western fjords, again in a place that I have no idea how to pronounce or even what half the letters and characters are. But it's absolutely stunning all the same. Just rocked up to this very cool waterfall over here. There's this river. Its name in Icelandic translates to the river of waterfalls, because up through there and up through the valleys all around on this river there is waterfall after waterfall after waterfall. So we woke up pretty early this morning, and we're heading out from Horn up into the mountains, into the glaciers and to the lagoons. Really looking forward to today. Last night it was raining so hard for like 8 hours, and we woke up this morning and it's an absolutely glorious day. Here is the lagoon, and you can see the mountains all around here and all the glaciers. It's an absolutely stunning view. If I had to recommend only one place to visit in Iceland without a shadow of a doubt, it would be here. Jökulsárlón Glacial Lagoon is where this glacier meets the sea. One of the many outlet glaciers for Europe's biggest glacier, huge chunks of ice break off daily into the brackish water and make their way down to the beach, where they find themselves being washed up onto the black beach in these incredible crystal clear diamond formations, hence the name Diamond Beach. It's huge, and it's got these amazing patterns, amazing So our guide Johan has just driven right up close to one of the glaciers, and I'm not sure many people know about this place. There's a glacier right there. So from the Outlet Glacier Lagoon, we drove around 10 minutes to the secret Outlet Glacier track, which is the closest you can get to one of these things by car. We were one of the only ones there too. What an incredible experience to see these so close up. We stopped at these amazing looking moss mountain bits. This is actually an ancient lava field. Super cool, you can see it all bubbling up. In true Icelandic fashion, we went from ice to fire. Well, current ice to ancient fire. From these amazing glaciers to these lava fields that have been long extinct. The Black Sand Beach here is another must-see part of Iceland. It is one of the most accessible and most visited beaches in the country. The sand is black because of the stone that is crushed down to create it, basalt. It's the same stone as the crazy rock formations on the giant causeway in Northern Ireland. It is an epic day today, crossing up loads of Iceland's top must-see places. And just in front of me here is probably Iceland's most famous waterfall, or at least one of them, Godafoss. Now I'm going to stand under it here, and then there is a walkway up the side to the top, to a viewing platform. Where is it? Just about see the platform, just here, that's the platform there. If I hike up, I reckon I'm going to do it. But first I'm going to check out the base of this waterfall. Wow, it's like a perfect waterfall. If you were to draw a waterfall, this would be it. It's just like perfect on both sides, this huge straight flat face of running water. Wow, it's amazing. All the way through here, and up to the top. Oh, it's a bit of a hike. Waterfall number 2 of the day, Seljalandsfoss. This is famous because you can actually walk behind the waterfall, which is very exciting. Seljalandsfoss is one of my favourite waterfalls in Iceland, not just because I can actually pronounce it, but due to the fact you can walk all the way around it, if you don't mind getting a little bit wet, that is. Its 60-metre drop looks spectacular from all 360 degrees. It used to fall directly into the sea, but as the glaciers on Iceland melted, the land rose, and now the pool and the river flows directly into the sea, which is what you see today. So we're in the lava centre at the moment. We're learning about seismic activity, about earthquakes, volcanoes, and everything that's obviously all around in Iceland. I try and really expose my camera to show you what's on over here, but it's an update to earthquakes happening in the area, and there's around 40 every day here. One of the most recent ones, the quite big ones, was 2.8 on the Richter scale, which happened today, which is very interesting, because that is actually quite a powerful earthquake. Not that we felt it, but we were by that volcano. Slash fault line today, so yeah, very interesting, very scary, also quite cool stuff. So we've just arrived in our accommodation for the evening in the middle of nowhere, but it's these amazing wooden huts here, and apparently there's supposed to be high activity in the Northern Lights tonight. We're just hoping for a clear sky. It's patchy clear sky at the moment, and we're not sure what it's going to do this afternoon. We've got our fingers crossed, and also there's a hot tub just around the corner that we're allowed to use, so perfect. We're going to be outdoors in the middle of darkness in the hot tub, maybe with a beer or two, who knows, and hopefully we'll see some Northern Lights tonight. An amazing evening watching the Northern Lights last night. Oh my god, it was so good. This morning we're heading back to Reykjavik, but we stopped off here in a farm where we're going to meet some Icelandic horses, and we're here. Now this is thousands and thousands of tomato plants, all grown using renewable sources, so geothermal and solar energy. This was a very unusual stop on the tour. One of Iceland's biggest suppliers of tomatoes, we not only got to see how these organic beauties were produced, but also got a taste of tomato ice cream, Bloody Mary and tomato soup. On the other side of these huge greenhouses was where they bred and kept award-winning Icelandic show horses and was shown why this breed of horse was so unique.
We haven't imported any horse in over 1,000 years, so we have a very, very clear bloodline. There are about 330,000 Icelandic people. We have about 100,000 horses. The Icelandic horse is special. It's the only horse in the world that has 5 different gaits. All horses, they can walk, they can trot, and they can gallop. All horses have these 3 gaits, at least. But the Icelandic horse, he has also tult, which is really smooth and easy to ride. And then we have the flying pace.
From here we went on to Godafoss. Now I know what you're thinking, not another waterfall. He must be so bored of it by now, but absolutely not. Each waterfall is different than the last and never gets tiring seeing these beasts in action. Just got soaked. Whoa! Oh, there's another one. We're gonna get showered. Whoa! From the exploding geysers in, well, Geysir, to the tectonic divide, it really goes to show how diverse Iceland's landscapes really are and the diversity in what there is to see and do in this totally unique country. We've just got here to an old parliamentary site here in Iceland, and that is very cool in itself. It's considered one of the oldest still running parliamentary sites in the world. What's also very, very cool is this bit here, and also this bit here, and also the bit that runs down here. I'm literally standing in between 2 tectonic plates right now, the Eurasian plate and the North American plate. Well, I really hope this has given you an insight into what exactly you can expect on your trip to Iceland. I highly recommend going on a guided tour like this one, as the local guides really do know their stuff and all the secret locations that others wouldn't even know existed. If you want even more info on Iceland, I'll put a link to the TourRadar Ultimate Guide to Iceland in the video for you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to follow me and my fellow travellers on our upcoming adventures. My next one is the exact opposite of this one, and I'll give you a hint. The king of the jungle lives here. Until next time guys, go touring.